Welcome back to Oil and Gas Futures 101. In episode 1, we covered what a futures contract is, how margin works, and the basic idea of buying and selling. Now it's time to get practical. In this episode, we're going to walk through everything you need to actually place your first trade, from picking a broker to reading your profit and loss. Let's get into it. Before you can trade futures, you need a broker that supports them. Not every brokerage does. Here are the main options. Thinkorswim, which is now part of Charles Schwab, is the most popular choice for beginners. It's free to use, has great charting tools, and bracket orders are built right in. The commissions are about $2.25 per contract. If you already have a Schwab account, you're halfway there. Tradovate is built specifically for futures. The interface is clean and modern. They have a commission-free plan for $35 a month, which makes sense if you trade frequently. If you don't, you'll pay about $1.25 per contract. Interactive Brokers has the lowest commissions, about 62 cents per micro contract. But the interface is clunky and has a steeper learning curve. This is more of a pro tool. For your first trade, I'd recommend Thinkorswim. It's the easiest to get started with, and most tutorials you'll find online. Once you've picked a broker, you need to do 3 things: open an account, apply for futures trading approval, this is separate from stock trading, and fund your account with at least $1,500 to cover margin plus some buffer. Alright, your account is approved and funded. Now you need to find the right contract to trade. Open your platform and search for /MCL, that's the micro WTI crude oil contract. When you pull it up, you'll see a quote screen with a few important numbers. The bid is the highest price someone is willing to pay right now. The ask is the lowest price someone is willing to sell for. The difference between them is called the spread. For micro crude, the spread is usually just 1 to 2 cents during peak hours. Volume tells you how many contracts have traded today. Higher volume means more liquidity, easier to get in and out. You want to see at least a few thousand contracts. Open interest is the total number of contracts currently held. This tells you how active the particular expiration month is. Speaking of expiration, you need to pick the right contract month. Always trade the front month, that's the nearest expiration with the most volume. It'll be labeled something like CLJ26, where J is the month code and 26 is the year. April is J, May is K, June is M. Important, don't hold a contract through expiration. Roll it 2 to 3 days before by closing your current position and opening the same trade in the next month. Your broker will warn you when expiration is approaching. Before you place a trade, you need to understand the 3 basic order types. This is critical. A market order executes immediately at the best available price. You click sell, it sells right now. The upside is speed, you're guaranteed to get filled. The downside is you might get a slightly worse price than you expected, especially in fast-moving markets. Use market orders when you need to get in or out right now. A limit order lets you set the exact price you want. If you want to sell at $96.50, you place a limit order at $96.50. It will only execute at that price or better. The upside is price control. The downside is it might never fill if the market doesn't reach your price. Use limit orders when you're willing to wait for your price. A stop order, also called a stop loss, is a trigger. It sits dormant until the price hits your level, then it becomes a market order and executes. This is your safety net. If you're short and set a buy stop at 98, it does nothing until oil hits 98, then it automatically buys to close your position. Here's the key difference. A limit order says, execute at this price or better. A stop order says, once this price is touched, execute immediately. Limits are for entries and profit targets. Stops are for protecting against losses. Now let's put it all together with a bracket order. This is the set it and forget it approach we talked about in episode 1. A bracket order is actually 3 orders bundled into one. Your entry order, your stop loss, and your take profit. When you place a bracket, all 3 go in at once. Here's how it works visually. Imagine oil is at 96.40 and you want to go short, you think it's going down. Your entry is a sell at 96.40. That's either a market order to get in right now, or a limit order at your desired price. Above that, at 98, you place your stop loss. This is a buy stop. If oil goes up to 98, it triggers and closes your position for a $160 loss. Below that, at 93.50, you place your take profit. This is a buy limit. If oil goes down to 93.50, it triggers and closes your position for a $290 profit. The magic is the OCO, one cancels other. Whichever order triggers first, the other one is automatically cancelled. You don't have to watch the screen. You don't have to set an alarm. The bracket handles everything. In Thinkorswim, right-click your order and select Bracket, or look for the bracket option in the order entry panel. Set your stop and target prices, confirm, and you're done. Once your trade is live, you need to understand what you're looking at on screen. Let's break down the key numbers. Open P&L, or unrealized P&L, is your current profit or loss if you were to close the trade right now. This number fluctuates in real time as the price moves. If you sold at $96.40 and oil is now at $95, your open P&L shows plus $140. If oil is at $97, it shows minus $60. Don't panic over every tick. The number will bounce around constantly. That's normal. Your bracket order is managing the risk for you. Margin used shows how much of your collateral is currently tied up. For one micro contract, that's about $700. Available margin is what's left in your account for additional trades. When your bracket triggers, either the stop loss or the take profit, the open P&L becomes your realized P&L. That's your actual profit or loss, locked in. Your margin is released back to your account, adjusted by the result. One important concept: if your account balance drops below the maintenance margin level, you'll get a margin call. Your broker will ask you to deposit more funds or they'll close your position for you. This is why you should always keep extra cash in your account beyond just the margin requirement. A good rule of thumb is to keep at least 2 to 3 times the margin amount. Let's recap episode 2. 1. Pick a broker that supports futures. Thinkorswim is the easiest starting point for beginners. 2. Always trade the front month contract with the most volume. Roll 2 to 3 days before expiration. 3. Know your order types. Market for speed, limit for price control, stop for protection. 4. Use a bracket order every single time. Entry plus stop loss plus take profit. Set it and forget it. 5. Don't panic over open P&L fluctuations. Your bracket is managing the risk. Keep extra cash in your account beyond the margin requirement. In episode 3, we'll cover what actually moves oil prices, OPEC decisions, inventory reports, the dollar, and how to read the news like a trader. See you there.